Hello everyone, welcome back to the online class. This is Manish Yadav, your English teacher, and we'll start from where we left. We are going through the Rattrap, fourth chapter of the Flamingo book. Page number 39 has to be explained last paragraph in today's lecture. So let's start without wasting the time. Hope you all are fine during this epidemic and being optimistic. Let's learn, let's prepare for the better performance of ours during upcoming board examinations. Let's start. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. When Ironmaster began to chide the man peddler, he came. He could not bear it. He could not tolerate it. He came a step forward and began to thumb the table with his fist. Okay, fist means mutti. Now I am going to tell you, Mr. Ironmaster, how things are, he said. Now Ironmaster is going to tell what goes on in his mind. He wants to state his own thought, his own contemplations to the Ironmaster. What does he say? This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. He repeats the same thought, same contemplation, which was going on in his mind at the time of, starting his journey on that day. That the whole world is a big rat trap. And all the good things that are offered to you are nothing but a cheese, rinds, and bits of pork set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. And all the things like pork, riches, rains, all the things which are offered to a poor people is only to tempt and to stuck him into the rat trap. In this world, these all are the things of attraction which distract the poor people to steal, to get, and to achieve. Okay, but if it is out of reach of poor people, they are tempted, they are attracted, distracted to get the same thing. It means it is only a part of distraction. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Master, must remember that the day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of gold and then you will get caught in the trap. And if the sheriff, the person who justify the matter, justify the case judicially, you can say, if the sheriff, you can say a person who has the right to catch me, to arrest me, if comes to me and arrest me, locks up me, then maybe there will be a day in your life when you will be also in need of a piece of pork, something as bait, and you will get yourself stuck into the rat trap. जब तुम भी इस लालच में आओगे एक न एक दिन तुम्हें भी इस लालच में आना है और किसी चीज की लालच में आकर अपने आप को रैट ट्रैप में पाना होगा मींस someday you will also will be the victim, you will also be the victim like me. Now the master began to laugh, watching the funny, one of the funniest joke in his life. He began to laugh. वो हंसने लगा. That what does he speak? What the hell is he talking? That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. But now get out of here as fast as you can. Perhaps if sheriff comes to us, अगर sheriff की बात है, sheriff आता है, let him stay alone with us on this Christmas Eve, and just you get out from here, get lost from here. I don't want to, I don't want you to let stay anymore in my house. मैं तुम्हें नहीं चाहता हूँ कि तुम थोड़ी देर और रुको. शरीफ की जहाँ तक बात है, वो आएगा अकेले हमारे साथ एंजॉय करेगा, हम उसको इनवाइट कर लेंगे, everything will be okay, but I don't want you to stay here. लेकिन अब मैं नहीं चाहता हूं कि तुम थोड़ी सी भी समय यहाँ पर बिताओ, जस्ट गेट आउट फ्रॉम हियर। But just as the man opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. As the man peddler was about to open the gate to go out, he was interrupted. Adla will mention the daughter of iron master came and said that I don't think that he should go from here. I want him to stay with us today. मैं चाहती हूँ कि वो हम लोगों के साथ ही ठहरे. I don't want him to go, and with that she went and closed the door. Okay, she tells that she wants him to stay along with them, and she goes to close the door. Finally, the door was closed by Adla will mention. Now, still the peddler was inside the home. What happens next? Let you know. What in the world are you doing? The father said. Okay, what are you doing, daughter? My dear, what are you doing? What is this? This is unacceptable. Knowingly that he is a strange person, he is not the same whom we recognized yesterday, last night. How can you allow him to stay? कैसे तुम अलाउ कर सकती हो उसको यहाँ ठहरने के लिए, ये जानते हुए भी कि वो एक अजनबी आदमी है, वो नील्स कोलोफ नहीं है. What the hell are you doing? What the hell is rubbish are you doing? क्या कर रही हो? इससे बुरा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. Don't allow him. Knew what to answer. What in the world, said the daughter, stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. Okay, the daughter was embarrassed. Why was she embarrassed? She was ashamed because of her father's action. Okay, that he did. He should not have cried or chided the man, Padlet, because they themselves invited him to celebrate, to stay with them on the Christmas Eve. उन्होंने खुद ही उसको इनवाइट किया था, और इनवाइट करके किसी को मौके पर चिल्लाना only on the basis of identification that he is not the same person whom we identified. Only on the basis of this we could not insult a man, we could not chide a man and say run away from our house. घर से भगाना, घर से दुत्कारना, डांटना सिर्फ इस आधार पे कि वो आदमी नहीं है जिसको हम लोगों ने पहचाना था. तो Adla Wilmanson was ashamed and she didn't know what to answer, और उसके पास कोई भी इस तरह की अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं थी, समझ नहीं पा रही थी कि उसको क्या आंसर करना चाहिए. Now that morning she had felt so happy when she thought how home-like and Christmassy she was going to make the things for a poor hungry wretch. Okay, wretch means a guy, you can say, and you know, a living organism, you can say, means एक poor गरीब आदमी, ठीक है, एक beggar. Means she was very happy. As we know that the character or ideology of Adla Wilmanson is very positive. She is a noble nature. She has noble nature. Okay, and very idealistic girl, and she was very happy to give. Okay, she was very happy to see someone happy in her life. Okay, she is very curious and she had a keen interest to assist somebody, to provide pleasure and to gift something to the needy people. Okay, वो बहुत ही अच्छे आचरण की लड़की थी, and finally in the morning she was so happy and Christmassy. She is going to make something for offering, for giving to a poor people, you can say poor rich. He was a peddler. Okay, तो बहुत खुश थी वो इन चीजों को लेकर के. She was very happy, but meanwhile he was identified as somebody else. He was not Nils Olaf, so she was not feeling better to scold him and to chide him and tell run away from there. वो नहीं चाहती थी कि पैडलर को यहाँ से डांट के भगा दिया जाए सिर्फ इस आधार पे कि वो Nils Olaf नहीं था. Finally she could not get away from the idea all at once, and that's why she had interceded for the vagabond. Okay, now she could not forget all at once. वो एक ही बार में सब कुछ नहीं भूल सकती थी, क्योंकि उसके साथ जो चीजें चल रही थी वो काफी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक लड़की थी, and she was very happy. Okay, बहुत ही खुश थी इस चीज को सोच करके कि इस सुबह हम लोग के साथ एक आदमी जो कि गरीब है, बेघर है, और लोगों की मदद करना एडला विल्सन की फितरत थी। ठीक है, वो काफी अच्छा फील करती थी लोगों की मदद करने के बाद। तो इस सुबह भी वैसा ही था। अब इस चीज को वो भूल नहीं पा रही थी। वॉट एवर शी प्लांट, जो भी वो प्लान की थी करने को, उन सारी चीजों को अचानक समाप्त कर देना कि अब तो वो आदमी गया। ठीक है, उनकी खुशी क्या थी एटला विल्सन की? टू हेल्प द पीपल, टू ऑफर हिम समथिंग विच ही लाइक। अब अचानक वो आदमी चला जाए तो उसका सब कुछ क्या होगा? किया का जो भी किया धरा है, सब कुछ धरा का धरा रह जाएगा। इसलिए वो लड़की नहीं चाहती थी कि पैडलर यहाँ से जाए। अब आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ दिस स्ट्रेंजर हियर सेड द यंग गर्ल। वो लड़की कहती है दैट आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट दिस स्ट्रेंज मैन। मैं इस आदमी के बारे में अभी भी सोच रही हूँ। नाउ ही वॉक्स एंड वॉक्स द होल ईयर लॉन्ग। What happens with him? He walks and walks. वो टहलता ही रहता है, चलता रहता है, long year, लंबे समय तक, पूरे साल। ठीक है, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome or can feel at home. And there is no shelter, there is no home of his own. उसका न तो कोई घर है, neither he has his own shelter, nor a place where he could feel better or comfortable. जहाँ पे वो अपने आप को सुरक्षित या सिक्योर्ड महसूस कर सके, ऐसी कोई जगह ही नहीं है। He walks and walks throughout the year. वो पूरे साल यहाँ वहाँ टहलता रहता है। Now wherever he turns, he is chased away. जहाँ भी वो जाता है, he is chased away by the cops. He is followed by the cops. पुलिस उसका पीछा करती है। ऐसे लोगों का पुलिस हमेशा पीछा करती है। And always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. And he most of the time, or mostly, he is afraid of being examined or arrested. Okay, बार बार उसको लॉक होने का डर होता है, बार बार उसको अरेस्ट होने का डर होता है, एग्जामिन होने का डर होता है, that somebody is watching him, somebody is you know observing his activities, what he does, जो भी वो कर रहा है। तो ये सारी चीजें, I should like to have him enjoy a day with us, just one in the whole year. So इसलिए I want him to stay with us and enjoy this Christmas Eve. मैं चाहती हूँ कि वो हम लोगों के साथ रुके और क्रिसमस ईव को एंजॉय करें। Thy master mumbled something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. That master, father of Adla will mention, he mumbled, he spoke slowly in his beard. अपनी दाढ़ी में या फिर धीरे से कुछ फुसफुसाया। He could not oppose or protest her daughter, his daughter. वो अपने लड़की के खिलाफ नहीं जा सकता था। सबसे बड़ी समस्या ये थी that he could not go against his own daughter because she was generous and she was very loveliest daughter to her father, and she had a great skill to convince. Finally, she could convince the peddler to invite at her home. So father gave her a great value, and he could not, you can say, oppose her. वो उसके खिलाफ नहीं जा सकते थे। Now it was all a mistake. Of course, he continued. वो बताती है, हाँ मानती हूँ कि गलती से हो गया ऐसा। That mistakenly we identified him as Nils Olaf. ठीक है, गलती हो गई, but anyway I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. But it's not better, according to my thinking, it has not better to call someone, invite someone, to ask to stay with us, and only on the basis of his identification, just we cry and chide him to leave away from here, कि उसको यहाँ से भगा दिया जाए। ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता। We can't refuse him. Now you do preach worse than a parson said that master. I only hope you could have to regret this. Okay, whatever you are doing, it is more worst than a parson. Okay, जो एक पादरी होते हैं, जो प्रायश्चित होते हैं, उनसे भी बुरा तुम कर रही हो, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए। I think that you will be regretting for that. हो सकता है कि तुम भविष्य में इस चीज को लेकर रिग्रेट करती नजर आओगी, या फिर पछतावा होगा तुमको कि तुमने किस आदमी को क्रिसमस ईव पे हॉस्पिटलिटी दिया, हॉवर किया, अपने घर पे जगह दी। हो सकता है कुछ अनवांटेड हो तुम्हारे साथ. Now the young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Now he took the hand of stranger and laid him to the table. She took him to the table and now sit down and it, she said, for she could see that her father had given him. Okay, what should be happened there? Her father should have taken the man to the table, but he gave in. He did not want to do so. Finally, she took the hand of Stanzer and took him to the table. जो काम उसके पापा को करना चाहिए था वो नहीं कर रहे थे, इस वजह से वो लड़की उस पैडलर का हाथ पकड़ती है और उसको टेबल तक लीड करते हुए ले जाती है और कहती है बैठिए और खाइए. ठीक है. Now sit down. The man with the red trap said not a word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. And time after time he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. The young man couldn't see even a single word. He was speechless. He was silent at all, and time after time he was staring at the Adla will mention, sorry, at the girl. You can say Adla will mention that why had she interceded herself for me. उसने क्यों अपने आप को खतरे में मुझे कर लिया है. I mean, she opposed her father. Her father is trying to make me away from here, and she is interceded herself to help me, to provide me food on this occasion. So she was a very generous lady, and the man was very confused. Paddler was very confused. Why does she do so? ऐसा वो क्यों करती है इस चीज को सोचकर. Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? ऐसा उसने क्यों किया? What will be the crazy idea? क्या इसके पीछे क्या राज हो सकता है? What may be the mystery? क्या रहस्य हो सकता है? Why is she harboring me? वो मुझे क्यों हार्बर कर रही है? क्यों मेरी मेहमान नवाजी कर रही है? ये जानते हुए भी कि मैं वो नहीं हूँ जिसको उन सबों ने पहचाना था. Now after that Christmas Eve, the whole Ramzo passed just as it always had. Okay, everything was as usual at Ramzo. Ramzo में सब कुछ as usual था. Nothing happened strangely. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. The stranger, the peddler, did not cause anything. उसके कारण कोई भी समस्या नहीं थी. No trouble was there because he slept only. Okay, he did nothing but slept. वो सोता ही रहा. सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्या रहा? सोता रहा. Now the whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of his guest rooms and slept on one stretch. Okay, he had been only sleeping in the sofa. वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ सोफा में सो रहा था in one stretch, एक ही stretch में. Now at noon they wake him up so that he could have his share of good Christmas fare. Now they wake him up, उसको जगाया सब, so that he could get the fare of Christmas, whatever it was. जो भी खाने पीने की चीजें थी वो भी खाए पिएगा और अपना शेयर ले सकेगा. And now he slept again. वो फिर से सो गया. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly, as safely as here at Ramsey. It seems that he had not been sleeping for many years as comfortable, as safe he was at Ramsey. जैसा कि वो रैमसो में फील कर रहा था, जितना कंफर्टेबल फील कर रहा था, ऐसा लग रहा था कि उतना कंफर्टेबल, उतना आराम उसको कभी नहीं रहा. Next, in the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. In the evening, when it was the moment to lighten up the Christmas tree, he was woken up. उसको जगाया गया, he was woke up, and it seems that the light of candle was catching the sight of his eyes, so he was blinking. I mean, he could not open his eyes properly. वो पूरी तरह से अपनी आंखों को नहीं खोल पा रहा था. ऐसा लग रहा था कि उसकी आंखों में रोशनी चुभ रही है. Now, but after that he disappeared again. वो फिर गायब हो गया. 2 hours later he was aroused once more. एक बार फिर से उसको जगाया गया. Okay, and then he had to go down into the dining room to eat a Christmas fish and porridge. And at that time, he was offered fish and Christmas porridge to eat as dinner. और इस बार उसको dinner के लिए जगाया जाता है. I mean, the man was only sleeping. He was doing nothing but sleeping. सिर्फ और सिर्फ वो आदमी सो रहा था. ठीक है, ऐसा लग रहा था कि कई सालों से उसने सोया नहीं है. ठीक है, that's it for today's lecture. We'll see the next page or next paragraphs in the next lecture. So till then, stay safe, stay home.